What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? This is Renebean, and welcome to another episode of Live Video Game Hunting, the series I started up so I can take you along for the ride and show you these finds through yard sales, garage sales, flea markets. I'll go to thrift stores like Goodwill and Salvation Army, and I'll use apps like LetGo, OfferUp, Craigslist, Facebook, just whatever I can use to get my hands on awesome deals for an excellent price. You get to see it. Make sure you stick through to the end of the video, because not only do I go over all this stuff on a one-on-one level, as well as anything you did not see on camera, but I also announce the winner to the contest giveaway. If you want to be entered, the rules are super simple. Obviously, be subscribed to the channel, hit the thumbs up button, and leave a comment down below, hopefully something positive. If you want a little extra credit, share these videos so other people can see these finds and learn how to beef up their collections. Reddit, Twitter, does not matter. Links to everything in the description below. eBay store, Macari account, you got Twitch, my P.O. Box information. Anything you could ever want is in that description. And I will say, if you have not subscribed yet, now is the time, because as we get closer to the 10,000 mark, we got that big NES refurbished bundle that I'm going to be doing a giveaway on. More details on that to come. Guys, I know a lot of you out there are always asking, where's the Sunday video? Where's the live, the live finds? Understand two things. Number one, the groundhog saw a shadow and just ruined winter up here for us, because we had a very nice warm break there for a period, and then a cold snap came, ruined everything. It actually snowed like a week ago, scared all the yard sales out, the flea market vendors, nobody was set up. So, and number two, I like to make sure that I give you guys the best content I can. I like to show you nothing but finds. That is my style. You want to watch a video and see me getting the actual good stuff. You don't want to see me digging through a box or looking behind a case of someone's games. That's not my style unless we're getting just solid crazy deals. So I got to make sure I got enough footage to give you guys. With that said, the season does now feel like it's starting off. I mean, we got totes of stuff to go through, so just have a little bit of patience. Always understand one thing. This channel is focused on live finds. It's just that the season is having a hard time starting up. So with that said, we got totes of stuff to go through here, guys. I want you to sit back and relax. Let's shackle up. Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode. I hope everybody has had some awesome finds. Always let me know in the comments if you picked up anything crazy. I like hearing what everybody gets. So anyways, the first pickup you're going to see right here, we are in Goodwill, and notice how nothing is behind glass. I love it. I think they got a new manager. He doesn't play any games. He just puts out everything, and it's not individually priced. Sometimes the prices will vary, maybe $1.50, maybe $3, maybe $5. It's always different when you come in, but there's no actual individual price games that I would normally see at this Goodwill. So on this particular day, all the games were marked for $5. Like I said, it does vary. Some days are $1.50, some days are $3. You never know what you're going to get. It depends on who's actually doing the pricing in the back, but they're not individually priced. By what I mean by that is it's not eBay priced. So I find SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. This was $5 right here. Anytime you see this and you can get it for $5 or less, pick it up. It's usually a pretty overlooked game, and you can find it quite often. It came out for original Xbox and GameCube as well. This pickup right here is through the eyes of Miss Renebean. She comes across our buddy at the flea market. She ends up texting me, asking me, what game should I get out of this lot right here? And right away I told her, I was like, well, pick up Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3. He wanted $5 for all these games. I didn't see in the picture that well the other titles, but I was at least able to see that one, and I told her, I was like, grab that one for sure. This guy is awesome. I love dealing with him. I actually was busy at the time, and she was the one going to the flea market on, this was Friday, I believe, which is a overlooked day when it comes to flea markets. If you only have a weekend flea market, check them out Friday. That is usually a good time. You can get some deals pre-hand. Everybody thinks the flea markets are just Saturday and Sunday, but on ours it's technically open 7 days a week, but the only days you're going to see traffic are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So for $5, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, that was an excellent deal. So this store right here you have seen in a few pickups previous. They offer some good deals periodically, and what I think it is whenever they have all this stuff listed at or above eBay and it's just sitting for the longest of time, they usually get fed up with it and they do some really good promotions, some good deals. So when I walk in right away, I'm greeted with this cart of games, and they were all marked at 50 cents a piece. Actually, I think the tags on them were like 46 cents or something very small. For 50 cents, I'm able to get some awesome games that I did not have for the collection. There's nothing too major in this lot. Like I said, I'm only able to pick up 3 games from it. But what was really nice is I was able to get NFL 2K2 for the Dreamcast. The only reason I picked it up is because I am extremely desperate to grow anything to do with Sega. It's just very hard for me to find that stuff around here. I don't get that many opportunities, so when I can, even small little bits of victory like this are great for me. So as I was saying earlier, they will offer these promotions, every so often, and you see that they've always had this. It's $2.99 for some of these games, and then it's 5 for 10 for any ones that are marked $2.99. But what they do is a lot of these games that were individually priced, like Infected, they had it listed, I think, at like $10, maybe a little bit more. It doesn't sell, so they slap the new $2.99 sticker on, and that's the time to come in here and hunt for these games, because if you're getting these games that can sell for $10 to $15 a piece, for $2, it's a great deal, and it's a good opportunity to come and beef up your collection and get some hidden gems you didn't even know about. Now, I know a lot of these titles that you see me pulling out here, like Burning Road, may not be a special game to a lot of people, but it's one that I did not have, and I'm getting it cheap, and it gives me the opportunity to play it, which, is awesome to me. And I know a lot of you out there have stores like this around, and they always, individually price games at or above eBay. But check with them every so often, and usually when that stuff sits, they accumulate it. And it happens for me in my shop. I just get boxes and boxes of stuff that's just not really worth listing individually. Not the greatest games to bundle with systems, and they end up having to liquidate it. They don't really have much of an option, and when you can catch these times whenever they actually refresh these boxes, it's the perfect time to come in and hunt, and you can find it. You can get some pretty good deals on games you wouldn't have normally found. And it may sound a little bit crazy, but it's getting to the point in my collecting life that I have a lot of fun collecting the lower end titles, the ones that I do not have, because I can find them a lot easier than I can the harder games for me to find for the systems that I collect for, because obviously if I'm sitting on 500 plus NES games, the more common games that I do not have, I got a better chance of seeing than I'm going to find, a lot of the higher end games. So it gives me that thrill of hunting to find these titles, if that makes any sense. One of the final games here that you're going to see, I was digging in both boxes that I picked up that's going to help me recoup the $10 that I put into these games to where I can get 4 of them for right around nothing, and that is Vigilante 8 Second Offense. Now you'll see it's got a weird printed case. It's just a disc and the manual is in there, but that's about what I paid for the other games altogether, so I picked that up for sure. So another reason I like to stop by this store every so often is they sell defective consoles. I picked up broken NES consoles that just wouldn't read. They needed, obviously to be refurbished. $5 a piece. I picked up, Super Nintendos that I've been able to get to work. Here you'll see I actually get a Super Nintendo controller, and the only thing wrong with it is it had a split at the top of it. I picked these up if the split is, 4 inches or so close to the top. That way I can just cut it, strip the wires, and resolder it back in. Turns into a perfectly working Super NES controllers. Clean up the buttons and make sure everything plays properly. So for $2.99, that's not a terrible deal. The only console that I was willing to invest the money in was the Sega Genesis right here. Cosmetically, it looked pretty good, and I only paid $5 for it. Usually what goes wrong with these units is right where the power cord goes in the back, that actual port, the soldering joints break and it causes a short out, which seemed like the case here when I stuck my finger in there to feel it. So that's a very easy fix. For $5, it didn't hurt me to pick that one up. So while walking past this bin right here that had games that did not have cases, I come across World of Outlaws Sprint Cars. This is another game that is overlooked right here. I picked it up for $2.99. The disc alone can go somewhere between $12 and $15, and complete you're looking at about $15 or $20. What's really nice is I actually had the case and manual to make this game complete. I already have a copy, but now it's going to be that much easier to get rid of. But again, make sure that you are getting the Sprint Cars World of Outlaws and not Sprint Cars Road to Knoxville. That's the one that's not going to be worth that much. This game's, like I said, has dropped severely over the years, but it's still worth picking up. And I believe there's one for the 360 that goes for even more. Now, I only got a little bit of footage of this, but this is the NES Power Glove with the sensor and manual. He wanted $49.99 for it. He had it there for about a month. I tried to haggle him last time, he didn't accept, but I actually did pick this up this time for $40. So to get that, the manual and everything else, he says it needs to be fixed, but you know what? I don't think he knows how to use it. Power gloves are very hard to get to work properly, and a lot of people do think they're defective when they can't get it to work right away. So even at 40, if it is broken, just the parts alone, I'm okay with that. So as I was getting ready to ring everything up, I noticed in the back that I saw this very nice big box sticking out for the Super Nintendo, and it was Mario Paint, and I had to say, man, like, how much do you want for that thing? Now you'll see him over here on the computer. He's trying to find a price for this. I don't know where he was, maybe eBay, maybe another website. And this thing was 100% complete. It had everything that could be included in the box, the mouse pad, the mouse itself. The only thing that was not there was the actual game itself. And as a lot of collectors already know, Mario Paint is extremely common. Some people will think that it's worth a lot simply because it has Mario in the title. But just the game alone is not worth anything. You got to at least have the mouse to actually make it work. Now, I will say the box is not 100%, awesome. It's not the greatest condition, but it's good enough for me. And to have everything else with it, the manuals, the inserts, all that, I only paid $25 for it. I tried to get him down to 20, but I didn't hassle him any further. He didn't seem like he was going to budge. And you'll see here, the box is pretty damn nice for what it is. So $25 for all this, it was an excellent deal. And this is probably going to be my favorite pickup for this episode. And as a lot of people know, Super Nintendo has a handful of big box games. The most well-known being Earthbound. They got Super Bomberman and a few more, I'm sure. And the Mario Paint one is very special to me. It's a very nostalgic game for me. And this is one that I definitely wanted for my collection because it's going to look beautiful displayed. So this was kind of a funny pickup right here. I was on OfferUp and I was searching through the video games, old listings. And I saw this one that's been up for over a month. And just out on a whim, I messaged her and I said, do you still have this? She said, absolutely. I said, well, since it's been up for a while, would you take less? She had it listed at $50. And she said, how about 40? I told her I was thinking 35 and we settled on that price. And it's kind of weird. People will haggle themselves down and not even realize it because I told her I had to stop and pick up some money. I didn't have that much on me. And she said, well, just give me 30. And I said, well, absolutely I will. So you'll see we get a Sega Game Gear lot here. And it has a bunch of games and it has the charger. The games are what's really going to make this lot special. And a lot of you out there already know that I refurbish Game Gears, fully recap them, put a glass screen on there and clean them up, make them nice and pretty, and usually sell them on Mercari to basically just subscribers at this point because I can't make enough of them to keep up with the demand. So anytime that I can pick them up, I can. So there's two games in this lot here that's basically going to make up the whole cost of the entirety. The first one you see here is Sonic Drift 2, which is a very fun racing game for the Game Gear. And another game, which was Tempo Jr. for the Sega Game Gear. Now, as some of you may know, Tempo came out for the 32X. It's a phenomenal platformer, beautiful music, beautiful artwork. And then they released Tempo Jr. for the Game Gear. So those two games alone are going to make up the cost of what I spent. Plus, I had a bunch of other awesome games that I get to add. The ones that I didn't have, I get to add those to the collection. And the other ones I can bundle out later. And then, of course, I got the case and everything else to have a fully refurbished Game Gear with a nice package right here. I just found it odd that this has been up for over a month and it was still listed. So go back on your OfferUp apps, your LetGo apps, and don't be scared of those old listings. If they still have it up, if you send them that question, is this still available, and they say yes, then that's a very good haggling tool right there because it's been up for so long, they'll most likely take less than what they had it listed. So I apologize for the film work on this one. I did not have my glasses with me at the time, so a lot of you know I'll just use my phone to get some quick footage. So as I was searching down the electronics aisle at Goodwill, I come across this GameCube stuff just randomly on the shelf. You'll see I get Crazy Taxi for $2, and it was in pretty good condition even though it was loose inside the case, as well as Super Monkey Ball. That was a great deal right there for $2. The Wavebird was only $1. Unfortunately, it did not have the receiver. I did ask the employee if he could go back to the back and see if maybe it was stuck inside the GameCube. A lot of people don't realize that the two go together. So I pick up the random GameCube lot of 2 games for $2 a piece, as well as that Wavebird, missing the receiver but still only $1. And then I find this black GameCube controller, which was in pretty damn good condition. No splits in the cords, and the joystick was pretty nice too. Another little tip too is anytime that you see just random games out on the counter like this, I mean, they just put them out, it's not with the DVDs or the other video games, there's a high potential that more games can come out. So stop back by at the store an hour, 2 hours later if it's close, if it's nearby, if it's convenient, or at least the next day, because you might be surprised on what comes out. Alright, so I'm going to warn you, this last find that you're going to see me get here may be a little bit hard to watch because there is a lot of jumps. There's a lot of skips simply for the fact that they didn't want to be on camera. I have been to this place before. A lot of you may recognize this from when I got my VIC-20, my Commodore 64 complete box, and just boxes of awesome stuff right here. And I found out that he was having another yard sale. A buddy of mine told me at the flea market that there was a yard sale. They advertised retro games. And when I actually looked at the address of this place, I was like, oh, I know exactly who this person is. I gotta make sure I go and check them out. And I'm glad I did, because I was able to get some really, really good deals, as you're going to see. Now, I know it's hard to actually see the stuff that I'm picking up, and like I always say, I'm going to go over everything in the actual recap at the end of the video, but understand that I only paid $50, and I probably left with, I don't know, maybe 9 or 10 games and 5 Sega Genesis consoles. Some of the games, you know, some of the highlights were like a complete Shenmue. There was Battletech. There was just a whole bunch of amazing titles that I picked up. Alien Front, I got that complete with the mic and the adapter for it. And again, like I said, all I paid was $50 for all these games. Sword of Vermilion, that was one of them. And this guy's awesome. Every time that I come to this sale, he always goes into the house and brings out more stuff for me to get. I almost, you know, bought this Lunar 2 right here. He only wanted $25 for it. I did pass on it. I passed on it for one of two reasons. For number one, whenever I get this game, I want it to be 100% complete in the big box that it comes with. Also, I only had the $50 on me. I was at other yard sales. I did not stop and pick anything else up money-wise. And what was bad is I had to meet someone at a certain time. And trust me, this was crunch time right here. But he is having a sale. In another week or so, I will go back with hundreds of dollars, and I will probably buy just about as much as I can. So I had to be really selective with the money that I spent here. So I was able to get, you know, around 6 or 7 games that I didn't have for my collection, and I'll be able to get rid of the rest and make up the cost on all this, which he knows that's what I'm going to do, which is awesome. This guy is a collector. He has sold things in the past. He knows what this stuff is worth, but he's just here to get this stuff gone. This is awesome right here. Check this out. I pick up the box for Caution Seaman for $1. It had the game and everything else in there, but I already had it. I said, how much do you want for just this box? He said $1. Not the best shape, but now I have it 100% complete. Very happy about that. Now, he comes back out with some absolute amazing stuff. You see, he had the Famicom with the disc drive, a bunch of disc games with it. And then he had more Sega Genesis games right here. A lot of stuff from his personal collection. Now, a lot of these things that you do not see me get, there are two reasons. One, he wasn't going to sell them. And two, the price was just a little bit too high. It would, you know, be about 20% below retail, which is obviously I did not have that much money. I had to be very selective with what I bought. But best believe when he does have another sale, I am going to go back and get a lot of this stuff that I need for my collection, because he works phenomenal deals, as you can see. That Dinosaurs for Hire game you saw me pick up a second ago, he only wanted $5 for it. You best believe that was one that I got. So here you're going to be able to see these Sega Genesis consoles that I picked up. I asked him if he knew if any of them worked. He said he could not remember, had no idea, and he only wanted $5 for all these consoles. So that's $1 a piece for a Sega Genesis, and most likely I can get one or two to work, so I was pretty happy about picking that up. As he kept pulling stuff out of bins and out of the garage, I come across Dr. Muto right here. It was pretty scratched up, but for $1, I didn't mind picking it up. PlayStation 2 games typically have a really good chance of working. Also, I found this Nintendo DS in the red original right here. He only wanted $5 for it. I thoroughly tested this thing. I put a game in there, made sure the touchscreen, buttons, all that worked. So $5 for it, that was a great deal. Here I pick up a Sega Genesis Model 3, again $5, great deal. I'm going to go over everything so you can actually see all of what I got, and don't worry, I will be back next week with a lot more money. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed all that awesome live footage, and just like always, we're going to go over all this stuff individually. If I can remember anything about it, I'll tell you. If not, we're just going to kind of zoom through it, because it's never in any particular order, because it always gets scattered around. Let's see what to go over first. This was a very good lot right here. I paid $30 for this Sega Game Gear lot. And you know what was funny is this was listed in, it was an OfferUp. And I haven't been on OfferUp in a while. I typically like to check. Now I'm getting better at, you know, checking it now. I had a string where I just didn't have any finds, and I just hopped on it one day, and I saw that there was this Game Gear lot for $50, and it was like a month old. said, 1 month plus older than that. And I was like, this has been on here a while. You gonna take any less? And they were like, absolutely. So they said 40. I said 35. She said that's perfectly fine. And I don't know. Some people do this. They basically haggle themselves down. And I said something like, I got to stop and get money out of the ATM. I don't have that much on me. She's like, well, 30's fine. I was like, well, all right. Well, you'll get 30 then. So $30 for all this was a phenomenal deal because the Game Gear, once refurbished with the case and everything, I usually sell them $60 to $80 just depending on what they come with. So anyways, we got the Game Gear here, which is in decent condition. I mean, Game Gears are usually scratched and scuffed because they're big as hell. A little bit of battery corrosion, she did admit that, which is perfectly fine. I can still clean that out. NBA Action Sega Sports, I did not have that actually, so that goes in my collection. I'm going for a full set of Game Gear games. I gotta do an inventory on them. I'm probably like 50 games off. I don't know how many I'm off from. Alright, we got some... the games are obviously the highlight. Oh, if I can balance that. Alright, we got Sports Illustrated Championship Football. I see this everywhere. NFL Quarterback Club 96. Super columns. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Get into some of the better games, except for NHL All-Star Hockey, which may be a good game. Excuse me, I've not played it. I love it because there are there's 9 clear cases. All my Game Gear games are almost all completely cased. There's probably like 5 that aren't. Bugs Bunny Double Trouble, that's one I do have. Asterix right there, very awesome, good bundler. Sonic and Chaos right there. Let's be one to get rid of. You see this everywhere. Sonic 2's awesome bundler. I mean, God almighty. This is going to be one to get rid of to help me pay for half this lot, which is Sonic Drift 2. It's a racing game, much like Mario Kart. Pretty fun, actually. Let's see. That's the reason that I got the lot. Alright, here's one that I do not have, which is X-Men Mojo World. Echo the Dolphin. Very awesome. And then we got The Adventures of Batman and Robin. Very cool. And then, of course, what I saw in the picture, I was like, I don't know why no one paid for this. This is, easily a $15, $20 game. Because the only way that you're going to play this is on Game Gear, which is Tempo Jr. Very awesome. Tempo, if I can do this without dropping everything. Tempo came out for the 32X. Very fun game. I mean, it's a very awesome platformer. Beautiful music, obviously. It's gorgeous graphics. And then Tempo Jr., which is awesome. Alright, so we got that. And then it's got the case. It's got the multi-tap adapter. $30. Obviously, that's a hell of a deal right there. Because I know my subscribers are always hitting me up for Game Gears. And I got kits in. I got screens in. I got people sending me their gears in. And I got some myself to start fixing up. So, that's good. This lot's good. A lot of this stuff is just awesome. We'll go through this just because it's right here. So, this was a yard sale. One of my buddies at the flea market, he hinted at there was going to be this yard sale. They had retro games. And I didn't realize this was the place that you have seen in, I have no idea what episode it was of Live Hunts, where I picked up a VIC-20. I picked up a Commodore 64 in the box. I picked up stacks of stuff like games and all that. This dude was a collector. He knows the prices of this stuff, but he's just unloading it. I think he's moving is what he was saying. Does great deals. I love his personality. He's a good guy. And once I looked up the yard sale and saw that address, I was like, oh, I know exactly who's having this. I got to go check it out. The only downside to this, I know people are going to get on me for it, because I did not have enough money on me at the time to get a bunch more other stuff. And also, I had a time limit. I had to be somewhere at 11. I actually had to go bowling, which is why you see this skin, because I just got back from bowling today. And I didn't have time to go get more money, but he's going to have another sale next week, so I'll go back and get anything that's left, which is nice. So, for $50, I got everything you're about to see here. So, I'll start it off here. We got a working Sega Genesis Model 3. I got a defective one, but now I actually got a good one that I am going to use, which is awesome, because it's very small and compact. So that alone is very nice. I'm not going to pull this big box out. You probably saw it, but I got 3 Sega Genesis, the original Model 1, and then I got 2 Model 2s right here. in the box. Some of them, two of the other ones, he says he doesn't know if they work, but one of them's missing a button, the other one's stuck. I guarantee I can get at least 2 or 3 working Genesis out of that lot. He only wanted $5 for the whole box, so that's obviously a great deal. No cords or controllers, but that's okay. This is awesome. I'm absolutely thrilled with this. Caution Seaman, just the box. He only wanted $1 for this. This is a phenomenal deal right here. I have it. I have the mic. I don't have the box. The box is beat up, but I'm that type of person where it does not bother me. So pick this up for $1. Absolutely amazing. He definitely hooked it up on that. This is cool right here. The full complete in box. This has the mic and everything in there, which is Alien Front Online. I think he only wanted like 10 for that. Like, I got a bundle deal at the end of all this. Obviously, you see everything that's going to happen. Everything was a phenomenal deal. This right here, which is awesome. This will help me pay for a good bit of the lot, which is Shenmue Complete. It's got a cracked case, but it's got the passport, the manual for both the passport and the game. So that one, I already got a copy of Shenmue, so that one's going to be gone. I do not have this. This goes right into my collection, which is BattleTech. Very cool. Got to get to add that to the collection. This one just looks damn good. I'm going to have to play this, which is Tom Mason's Dinosaurs for Hire. Look at this. Look how awesome that looks. He says it's kind of like a Contra game. So I'm very excited to play this. This doesn't have the manual or anything, but that's going right into my collection. This one, which I don't know if I have it or not. I told him I didn't know if I had it, so I was on the fence about buying it. But he only wanted $5, so I picked it up anyways. Sword Vermilion, very cool. I don't think that one has the manual. Let's see. This is just interesting. I picked this up because I've never seen anything like this. Pete Sampras Tennis, right? It's just a sports game, but look at this cartridge. You can play 4 players with it. You plug the other 2, like, I can just see that, like, messing the game up, like, just causing it to glitch or freeze. That's crazy. I've never seen anything like that. I had to pick this up. Apparently, it's like $15 complete, which this one is, so I got a great deal. Obviously, if I paid $50 for everything here, that's good. A red Nintendo DS, the original here. It does work. I tested it there. It powered on. The screen's not that scratched, so I can easily get $20 or so for that to recoup the rest of this cost and keep these awesome games. I picked this up because I couldn't remember if it was exclusive. He only wanted $1 for it. It is scratched, but that's Dr. Muto. I may have it on original Xbox, but I just picked it up to resurface. It's not a big deal if it doesn't. And this is cool to add this to my Saturn collection, which is the Lost World Jurassic Park. So $50, guys. All that was obviously that was I keep saying phenomenal, but that's obviously what these deals are about. Nothing else in there. If I throw that across the room. So I get to add some stuff to my Dreamcast collection, add a game to my Saturn, definitely hook up the Genesis collection. I'm very excited about having this bad boy complete. This is a very awesome game, voiced by Leonard Nimoy. Trippy stuff. Here's that big box of Sega. We need to move that over. Alright. Oh, everything's crashing. I gotta get this stuff taken care of. Alright, so let's see. I picked this up. I paid $6 in total, I think. Well, I thought I did. Let's see. This must have been a Goodwill find or something, but I paid $5 for Battle for Bikini Bottom. Great one to flip right there. It's about a $15 game, so there's a little bit of bread left on that sandwich. Alright, let's see. At Goodwill, I picked up a Wavebird, no receiver. I asked the guys, like, man, can you go back there and see it? Sometimes it's in the system. They don't know what it is. Paid $1 for it. No receiver. It does have the back. As long as it works, that's an easy $15. And, of course, you cannot go wrong with a GameCube controller. The joystick's slightly loose, but this will be more bundled with the system rather than sold individually, because usually individual sales on GameCube controllers are, like Smash Brother players. They want good controllers. But $1. Cord is in excellent shape. I don't typically get them if they have cuts or tears in them. Let's see. What other stuff do we got? Because I have no idea. Oh, at that same Goodwill, these were $2 a piece. We got Crazy Taxi for the GameCube. It's all had to look there. So it's been one of them days. And Super Monkey Ball Complete for $2. So that GameCube score right there was awesome. Alright. Now, the last stuff that you're going to see, you saw it at at this place that I go to, they sell video games. Usually the stuff's really high priced, but what I've been noticing is since they really marked their stuff at eBay and a little bit above, it just sits. No one's buying it, so they have to mark this stuff down eventually. I went in there and I was able to get some awesome games that I did not have for the collection, and I got some really good deals. And then I caught them slipping hard on one game. All right, so what to go over first? They do their games for, I think it was 5 for $10, which is a good deal. I'm able to get stuff I didn't have. Sega Sports NFL 2K, which it's a sports game, but for Dreamcast, I'm desperate to go over that collection. Here we go. We got Burning Road for the PlayStation 1. We got Land Before Time, Great Valley Racing Adventure. Whew. Heavy heroes here. A copy of Infected for the PSP. That was awesome to get right there. That looks very cool to play. Silent Scope 2. I knew I had Silent Scope 1, but I did not have Silent Scope 2. That seems like more than 5 games. I don't understand it. And Grip Shift, because I know I got that there too. Another game for the PSP that I did not have. And as I was looking, like through their stuff of defects or not defects, but through their loose disc. I typically don't go through the loose disc, but this one was just like right on top, and it was marked for $2.99, and I paid the full $2.99 for it. It is a loose disc copy of Sprint Cars World of Outlaws. This is a pretty damn high-end game. And you know what's really crazy is on my eBay store, I actually had just the case and manual for this because I didn't have the disc. Just selling it separately as a replacement. Not anymore. Guess what's going to be completed and then sold as such. So this is an uncommon game. Look out for it. Now there is another one called Road to Knoxville, and that may have been what they looked up whenever they thought that they may have thought that's what this was. So caught them slipping hard on that one, but I'll take it. They had a defect Sega Genesis that I picked up. Had I known that I was going to get this big box of Sega Genesis, I wouldn't have. For $5. Typically what goes wrong in here is the power port right here goes out. It's a quick solder fix, but for $5, I was okay with it. Plus, I mean, obviously, after you see the rest of the stuff, everything was a great deal. He had a defective Super Nintendo controller right here. And what was the issue was, now you see this split right at the tip. They'll consider that defective, much like I do if it's cut much lower. I can actually snip this, strip it, resolder it back in, and it'll only lose like half an inch on it, and it'll be completely fixed. So paid $2.99 for that. Once it cleans up, it'll be great to have with a bundled system, because I always tell you guys to be on the lookout for your controllers. Now, I was eyeing this for like a month now. I've seen that he had it, and I asked him when he first had it if he'd take anything lower. He wouldn't. And I was like, man, you've had this thing for over a month. Let's work a deal. I offered him $35. We did settle on $40, and you'll see like in the video there was a sign that said it was broken or defective. And I was talking to him about it, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't know how to actually use this thing properly. And then what it is the Power Glove. We are playing with full-on power right here. In pretty damn good condition. It's got the normal dirt that you would see on these things. But just alone, like $40, as long as it's working properly, that alone is just about that cost. Not to mention it had the sensor in good condition. And what was really awesome, which I get to keep, and I didn't realize it came with, was the manuals. Very cool. That is awesome right there. So for $40 for that, hopefully it's working properly. If not, I can still sell it as parts and get that cost back. Now, my favorite pickup out of all this stuff was great, but this one was just really special to me. I paid $25 for this, and that is the big box of Mario Paint. I got this at that store. I saw it sneaking behind the counter, and I just saw the corner of it, and I was like, man, how much do you want for that? He hasn't priced it yet, so he pulled up eBay, I'm sure, and he couldn't really gauge the pricing on this. This thing is 100% complete except for the game, but as a lot of you hunters out there know, this game is common, very common. So it has, everything is in very nice condition. It has Nintendo cards in there. It's got these crazy, everything is just 100% in here. The mouse, I can get rid of the mouse, the game, and the pad for that cost right here and get to keep this awesome box, which is beautiful display, because a lot of you know Super Nintendo had some big box game. Obviously everybody knows Earthbound, Super Bomberman, Mario Paint, there may be a few more. This is awesome. It's got some tape right here. that's okay. This is my favorite pickup of the week. $25 is a phenomenal steal. Complete with the game, it can go well over 100. So maybe he was slipping on that one, maybe not, but I'm very happy with it. So that's it, guys. That's all I got for you. Let's go ahead and announce the winner to the contest giveaway, because I almost forget, like I always do. So the winner of this contest is Kane Death Breaker, all one word. KaneDeathBreaker. You are the winner. You got $20 store credit to my eBay store. Anything you like, not just video game related, you got $20. Hit me up on Instagram before you try to get anything or message me on eBay. Make sure you all guys are entered for the next one. Subscribe. We got the 10K giveaway coming up. Good stuff. So anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. I hope y'all enjoyed the episode. More to come as the season picks up. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.